Hey there, people. Cheers, and welcome back to Google Docs. So, in this topic, we're going to learn about some of the features in Google Docs that's available for our disposal. For example, the Google Smart Chips. When I type in the Alias button, basically it allows me to select some of these features here, which are pretty useful if I want to set up some templates real quick. So, let's just run through a few of them to see what we can do with them. So first one of I want to let you know we can check out is meeting notes. If you click on meeting notes, it actually lets you see what is the latest topics that you have discussed that is currently in your calendar. By clicking on any of this, basically it will pull out the date, the title of your calendar, then who are attending, and even notes that you can take down notes. For example, the attendees here will be Mr. Tan, of course, and me. And the notes will be, for example, bring your notepad, bring your proposal, for example. Action items that you need to check off the list, for example, is to discuss the objective. And then you can even put new items by pressing enter and say that complete the proposal. Now, once all this is done, basically you can also just check this off, these boxes, and basically use them here as your meeting of minutes. So it'll save you some time. So one of the things I forgot to cover was also the smart chips in the meetings we would use. Let's say you were to use a meeting of minutes. You can actually also click here to create an email note. And they have more actions here as well, like email meeting notes, attach drive files. So if I were to click this right now, it will pop up straight away a new email draft and prepare that for here in terms of what notes you need to prepare for your meeting. And as subject matters are in, you just need to make sure your attention to the specific persons your recipients are set. Now, other than that, let's explore other things. Let's go to a new page. There we go. And let's put the alias again. And here, let's say we want to explore setting in dates. You can actually put current dates like today. So I can put the 19th of November 2023 and the dates appear there. Now, these are pretty useful because you can just put your dates in there and make it look in your document as the specific date. There are other tools you can use also, for example, like product roadmap or review tracker or project assets. Let's explore what these are about. So let's click on product roadmap and they basically prepare you a table outline template together with drop down menus. And these are pretty useful now because you can just set in your projects that you have in mind. For example, find the requirement, study requirements, let's say requirements. There we go. Status here you can change from not started to in progress to launch. Related files you can perhaps put some doc links. You can copy from your existing doc links or Google Sheets. And notes here you can put there in progress. Mr. Tan is going to revert on this soon. For example, you can put alias and even put Tan's name in there. For example, this is Christina Tan. There we go. And then she will be in charge of that specific area to get back to you. Right, moving on. These little drop down menus here, as you can see, you have only three titles topics. Now, should you want to add more, it's quite easy. Just click on Add Edit. You can choose to add new option. For example, we have not started, in progress, launch, or let's put something else. Completed, for example. Right, I can also choose a selection color here. Maybe I can put green, click Save, and now they will have an option here. So this is what I like about Google Docs. They ask me that do I want to apply only for this instance or all instance. So it doesn't just apply one of these, but all. So I'm going to choose all, and now the options are I have completed options here. I also have here and here as well. So that's pretty useful. Now let's explore if you were to set in a new drop-down menu on its own. So I'm going to put more rows in here. To do this is very easy. Just click on the last table to the bottom right and press your tab key on your keyboard, tab, right? It will allow you to actually generate more rows in your table. Now, as I was saying, if I were to generate, let's say, a new drop-down menu here instead. So let's say I want to start from here. I don't want related files. I'm going to put here maybe a secondary status. Secondary status. All right, there we go. It's done. And here we're going to insert a drop-down list. So how do we do that? We can put alias and type drop. Then you have drop down. That's excellent. Click on drop down and then you have options to choose from. Some preset templates that we have already used, right? Like launch status, the one with the completed recent use. Some presets, or you can even create your own. So let's try to create our own. Click new drop down. They give us four options, but I only need two. So let's delete the last two and let's call this a yes and no status drop down. So we got yes and no. And I can change the no status to red perhaps and yes to green just for color aesthetics. And then I'll just type this as status. Status. There we go. Click OK, save, and there we go. There we got our first status in there. Now to copy this, I can just select across. Oops, sorry. Select here, like this, and press copy. And then I can select all the other tables below and right click and paste. And immediately it'll duplicate the current layout across and also with the drop down menu. And there you go. It saves you some time if you want to create new drop down menus. Now, aside from that, smart chips also do provide options like creating your own checkboxes, for example. Checklist. There we go. Now, if I were to create a checklist, it will basically give me a checkbox and then I can type something here. For example, do the laundry. Enter. And then perhaps I can add new things like hang the clothes up, bring the clothes in. There we go. Well, you get the idea. And then finally, iron all shirts. All right. Once done, if you were to click the checkbox, it will give you a nice little strikeout as well on the checklist. So this is pretty useful because if you were to create a simple checklist and to, inundate a status whether it's done or not, you can use the checklist feature, just check on it, and basically it's done. Right. Moving on, besides smart chips, what else do we have is dictating voice. Now, assuming I want to create a voice dictation here, I'm going to go to tools and let's find voice typing or control shift S. Now for those of you who don't like typing a lot and prefer to dictate your own voice, you can use this. So let's click on this and see how it works. Voice typing. It will enable a little pop-up icon beside here, and if you can click to speak, it will be ready to listen to your voice and begin dictating. Now it also takes things, for example, like new line, punctuation, or comma or period. So let's test that out. I'm going to enable this now. Period. New line. This is how a lazy person would type their reports by not typing but using the voice dictation instead. New line. Enter. I would like to say that this feature is quite awesome, especially if it recognizes your native language, which you can also set within the voice recognition dictation feature. Full stop. Enter. Enter. This is awesome! Exclamation mark. Enter. And we're done. And there we go. So I guess some of it here did not come in. For example, the period I mentioned did not actually happen to become a period, but the full stop instead was recognized and it came in instead. So bear in mind that this is currently based on the current status of language that I've chosen, which is English US. So sometimes if you do have an accent, from your specific countries, wherever you're from, do try to match with those. Perhaps it will be more easily to recognize how you're talking and speaking. All right, so that's it for voice dictation. If you're done with this, you can just turn it off. Don't worry, it's always there. You can go back to tools, voice typing, or the shortcut key Control Shift S. Right, moving on. Next, we want to explore is how we can basically embed documents within emails. Now, if you would like and prefer to type an email inside your Word doc instead of your usual Gmails, you can actually go here and then type email draft, and in your smart chips you have email draft. So over here you can actually send it to people you want. For example, Chris at pentawise.com. Now that's just a made up company. I don't really know if it exists, but if it does, hey, lucky break. Now subject is we have, hey there, how's it going? Right, then next. In the next option here, I'm going to type a message here. Dear Chris, how are you? It's been a while since we caught up. Below is a table of the project proposal. Right. From here, this all basically will go into your email if you were to click up here and send. But before we do that, I want to add a few more things. All right, just to make it a bit more snazzy. There we go. And then here I'm going to say that proposal, the file, description is To be advised, and all of these I'm just going to copy and duplicate it across, right? Just to save time and show you the final outcome. Now, over here on the status side, we have different status. Here I'm going to put regards Eugene, which is my name. Right. But here I'm also going to add, for example, we're going to also add a content tracker. All right. Type 1. Description is a publish date. And here you can use date function. For example, instead of typing date and searching for it, you can immediately skip to today's date, tomorrow's date, or yesterday's date. So basically clicking and selecting on those will give you the opportunity to match those dates much faster. So that's today's date. Okay, publish yes, no. Outlet, we will just say outlet 1. And link to content, we can put a specific link. So for now, I'm just going to leave it blank. But if you want, let's say we just link it to www.google.com. There we go. And it immediately turns to a link when you click the spacebar because it detects that this is a link. Right, once done, we're going to click here on the email section here. And let's see how it turns out. It's going to pop up your email browser in a window, and in the template here you will see how it looks like in your email. So let's see if we can make this a bit bigger. There we go. Dear Chris, everything in there. So do take note, when you do send out emails, all of the drop down lists will no longer be applied in their color forms. It will just be plain text, but the tables will remain. So that's Chris, that's the subject title there, and everything else here, which is as it was when we prepared earlier. So there we go. If you send this out, you can also send this to yourself and test it if it works. Okay, last but not least, now that's emailing out from here as you are preparing a document. But if let's say you want to email this document out, this whole document out, let's check my entire outline here. We have from Digital Frontier to all the passion and profit, this entire document. You can go to File and choose Email. Now, when you say email this file, you have this option of selecting. You either send this copy to yourself, and then let's say I send to Chris at pentawise.com. There we go. You have the option to key in a message, and then you can choose don't attach. Right, you want to include this content in email. Now if you don't click this, you can choose the file attached in this form selection. Like in this case, my document will be attached as either PDF, rich text, HTML, or even Microsoft Word. So if I click don't attach and then I click send, right, let's test this out. This is how it will look like in my email. So I'm going to go to my email right now, and let's go to my sandbox and see what's up and what's going on. Sandbox, there we go. Right on the top. Now by clicking on this, basically I get to see the entire contents of this email that I've prepared, including the earlier checkboxes that we have been practicing. All will be sent out together in the email, instead of it being attached accordingly as a specific document. All right, so there we go. So another thing I would like to cover here is also the quick replace format text tool. So when I say quick replace format text tool, it also means, for example, when you do typo errors, for example, the best sheep in the house gets picked. Now, I intentionally put the here as TEH instead of THE, and we can actually do this autocorrect, for example, in the settings section. Click on help, for example, and the extensions and tools. So from here, basically what we can do is we can actually autocorrect this DAH here by going to Tools and then go to Preferences. Under this Tools from Preferences, you can choose this under one more option called Substitutions. Now, clicking on Substitutions allows you to, for example, replace words like that. You type my t to the. Now, what this will do is once you click OK, this will allow you to do an autocorrect. So let's try that again. The best sheep in the house. There you go. And there we go. Now this is autocorrected where this wasn't. Now if I were to type this autocorrect there, space, it will also autocorrect the TAH to THE. Now this is also useful, for example, if you want to type long sentences and you want to do it in short form, for example. If you always type this report is prepared by Eugene, which is my name. And you don't want to always type this all the time where, it's a bit cumbersome. You want to just keep it as a template. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just copy this report is prepared by Eugene, and I'm going to go back to the tools settings here under preferences and go back to substitutions. So I'm going to put in the replacement part here. So this prepared will be a typo. There we go. So this report is prepared by Eugene will be replaced by this report prep E. So if I were to type TRPE, right, then essentially what I'm doing is I'm creating a shortcut here. For example, this report prepared by Eugene, and there you go. You see the autocorrect done, and this report is prepared by Eugene. So this is useful because if you want to use tools and text substitutions, you can go to tools, go back to preferences under substitutions, and you can check all of the substitutions that you have ever done before. Now they have some presets in there that's already done by Google, so it helps you out. But if you don't want that anymore, for example, like the one I just made here, I can just click on the cancel button here, and it'll be removed and deleted from the system. There we go. Okay, last but not least, download as PDF. Let's see, how do we download this as a PDF? Right, to download this PDF, basically what we do is I want you to notice that above here, I'm going to zoom in to my screen a little bit. There we go. If you can see it right now at the top here, it says edit from my document name. Now you just need to add this at the back, which is export question mark format equals PDF. Now as long as you add this after the edit this entire link, you can share it with someone else. Right, let's just go to new incognito window. So this is completely new. There's nothing set there. I'm going to paste that link, including the export question mark format equals PDF. When I press enter, it's going to request that if I have a Google account, right? Okay, I'm going to open a new browser. I'm going to put that link in that says export format equals PDF. And when I click enter, it's going to basically process this document and it's going to save it in a PDF format. Now I'm just going to save it on my desktop. Here we go. Let's check it out if it appears. Ah, there you are. Title crafting your own online empire. Let's open this up in PDF. And there we are. It's all in PDF now. And there we go. The document is in PDF, easy for export. So bear in mind, however, that the PDF export only works if you are sharing this current document publicly. All right. If you don't share this document publicly, for example, like it's only accessible to you, and you share this link, it won't work for others because they have no access to it. So the document itself must have, I repeat, access in terms of its shareability. Now let's go back there and check it out. Now here is the share options in case it was not shared properly. You need to basically set this up from restricted to anyone with link. To increase some security that no one can edit your file, you can actually just set it either to viewer or commenter. Now by doing so, only will this link work. So let's try again, go back to incognito, gonna paste that link back in. Okay, let's just make sure that I have saved that shared status. Yep, it's under viewer mode now. I will click done. Now go back here and let's re-enable that link. Let's try it out. And now it works. So bear in mind earlier it did not work. It's because we did not share the document yet. So yeah, this is one of the kinks that you'll need to remember. Alright, and so that's it for all, guys. So that's in our topic. You have learned about wrapping all of this up with understanding how to use dictation, understanding how to use your smart chips, basically understanding how to use Embed with email, and also how to download as PDF. So, should you need any more quick tips, I hope you stay for more. So, do like and subscribe. Cheers. Thank you very much.